Do major holidays or significant days such as Christmas or Mother's Day give you a sense of dread? The reality is that for many people, these significant days like Mother's Day and Christmas evoke such strong emotions because they are intensified periods of social, personal and psychological significance that amplify both our deepest joys and our most profound wounds. They act as psychological magnifying glasses for our underlying feelings about family, relationships and self-worth. This was evident in a recent post where I discussed the difficulties that some people have around Mother's Day. The comments that the post received were eye-opening. They ranged from expressions of grief to detailed accounts of trauma to accusations directed at me. What became blatantly clear from the comments was that there was a range of strong emotions and a lot of difficulties around Mother's Day. The comments from that post inspired this video. That's because I see you. For those of you who are or have gone through this tumultuous path, I see you. I see you because I see the terrain that you are on, and I've also been there, done that, and I've got the t-shirt. Let's dive into the challenges that are often coupled with these significant days. This challenge was documented in a 2023 survey by the American Psychological Association, which found that 89% of US adults said that they felt stressed at the holidays, and 41% said that their stress increased during this time compared with other points in the year. That's a pretty big percentage. In this video, I'm going to unpack what's going on with this trend. There are many possible factors. Keep listening to see what factors apply to you, and stay tuned until the end of this video for pointers on reducing this negative effect for you. If you have particular factors that apply to you, please comment below. I'm keen to hear your thoughts. And if you would like personalised assistance, there is a link below for booking a Mending the Mother Wound tarot-led coaching session with me. Remember though, by assessing which of these factors apply to you, you are not betraying or being disloyal to your family. You are gaining clarity on your situation so that you can minimise the undesirable effects on you. Let's dive on into why major holidays or significant days such as Christmas or Mother's Day can bring up feelings of dread, stress or discomfort. They fall under 5 key categories. So firstly, societal and cultural expectations, also known as the greeting card effect. These societal and cultural expectations fit into 4 broad categories. A, idealized portrayals. The reality is that media, advertising and popular culture bombard us with images of perfect families, overflowing joy, seamless celebrations and unconditional love around events such as Christmas, Easter, Mother's Day or Father's Day. This creates an unrealistic expectation of what these days should be like. For many people, their reality is far different from this idealized image, and being bombarded with this image can feel like rubbing salt in the wound of the reality of their family situation. B, pressure to perform inside the family. For many, there's immense pressure to be happy, to make it perfect, to buy the right gifts, host the ideal gathering, and show up as your best self. This pressure can lead to immense stress, anxiety, and a feeling of inadequacy if reality falls short. This is particularly challenging for those facing financial, social, or mental health difficulties. In some families, this pressure can be intense, where quasi-competitions or comparisons ensue, where many can end up feeling deflated, unseen, or undervalued. So C, social comparison outside of the family. Social media exaggerates this. These days, people see curated highlights of others' seemingly perfect celebrations. This can trigger feelings of loneliness, envy, or shame about one's own perceived imperfections or struggles. D's, traditions and rituals. While traditions can often offer comfort and a sense of belonging, they can also become rigid obligations that create tension, especially if families or individuals have evolved or if the tradition no longer seems to serve them. The reality is that societal and cultural pressures are intense and multifaceted around these holidays or days, and for many, that pressure can feel like they are carrying the weight of the world on their shoulders. So the second major category is family dynamics and unresolved issues. This is where the dynamics of the matriarch wannabe and the mother wound and any other unmended dysfunction is felt. The first subcategory, A, is forced proximity. Holidays often bring extended family together, sometimes for the only time of the year. This forced proximity can amplify existing tensions, unresolved conflicts, old wounds, and long-standing dynamics. This can relate to anything from resurfacing of sibling rivalries to, in extreme cases, being around someone who inflicted lasting trauma on you. The reality is that these significant days often create situations where we are around people who we would not otherwise choose to be around. Which brings us to the second aspect of family dynamics, resurfacing of past trauma. For individuals with histories of difficult childhoods, trauma, or strained family relationships, like those affected by mother wounds, being around family members can trigger painful memories, bring back old feelings of powerlessness, invalidation, or criticism. For many, they may not even be aware of the source of their rising undesired feelings. The origins may not be conscious memories, but locked in their subconscious. Yet being around certain members of the family or certain environments, such as the home they grew up in, can result in emotional dysregulation and tension. This issue was apparent for Rebecca, who always had a sense of dread when it came to major holidays like birthdays, Christmas, Mother's Day, and Father's Day. For as long as she could remember, these days felt like strained dynamics and expectations. While she was growing up, these events weren't associated with fun. They were associated with outbursts, belittling, and disappointment. Taking part in these events as an adult rose to the surface all of the feelings of isolation and not being valued, coupled with an expectation of playing happy families. While Rebecca was going through her healing journey, these days felt like a giant leap backwards in her reclaiming of her sense of self. The third subcategory is role expectations. People often fall back into old roles within the family situation during holidays. For example, the peacemaker, the scapegoat, the overachiever, the invisible one, even if they've worked hard to move beyond them in their daily lives. These days can make even someone who's forged their own life, maybe they have a career, maybe their own family or their own social circle, can make them feel like they never moved beyond their role as a child. The fourth subcategory is unmet needs and disappointments. These days highlight what is and what isn't in one's family life. If core needs for love, acceptance, validation, or support were not met by family members, these holidays can be a stark reminder of that deficit, leading to deep disappointment and sadness. This is at the heart of the mother wound, the father wound, and any unhealed trauma. These days can highlight what we did not receive and needed and longed for as a child and into adulthood. The third category is grief and loss. The first subcategory under that is absence of loved ones. This is easy for most of us to understand. For those who have lost a mother, a child, or a significant loved one, Mother's Day, Christmas, or other family-focused holidays can be incredibly painful reminders of their absence. This can trigger acute guilt, grief, longing, and a sense of emptiness. Secondly, there can be a grief for the ideal. Even if no one's passed away, individuals may grieve the mother that they never had due to a mother wound or some other reason, or the perfect family that they've never had. These days make the discrepancy between fantasy and reality particularly poignant. The stark contrast between what was desired and what was the true situation feels like adding insult to injury. The third subcategory is life transitions. Holidays can amplify feelings related to other life changes, divorce, relocation, career changes, aging, or estrangement, as they serve as markers of time and what has been gained or lost. Greg particularly felt this when he spent his Christmas with his mother. It was the first Christmas after his divorce, and his children were spending Christmas with his ex's family. He felt a deep sadness and emptiness, and this was exasperated by the ungrounded and let's all just be happy and make the best of it attitude of his mother. While his mother was well intended, Christmas highlighted to him what he had lost, and he felt unheard and unheld in this feeling. The fourth category is personal reflection and self-assessment. These significant dates often cause us to reflect on things that we would not generally mull over as we go about our regular daily lives. Firstly, there's year-end reflection. This is particularly for Christmas, New Year period. The end of the year often prompts reflections on goals, achievements, disappointments, and regrets. This self-assessment can be a source of pride for some, but anxiety, stress, or sadness for others who feel they haven't met their own expectations or societal benchmarks. Secondly, identity and belonging. These holidays often emphasize belonging to a family or community. For those who feel isolated, disconnected, or who have chosen to distance themselves from their biological family for their well-being, these days can intensify feelings of loneliness or difference, along with complex emotions like grief or relief. The fifth major category, and the last category, is financial stress. These significant dates often come with a pressure to spend. Gift giving, travel, and festive meals often come with significant financial pressure. This can be a major source of anxiety, particularly for those on tight budgets, and can lead to feelings of inadequacy or failure. In summary, days like Mother's Day and Christmas are not just arbitrary dates. They are culturally loaded anchors that force us to confront our most cherished ideals, our deepest connections, and our most painful realities, all while navigating intense external pressures. This concentrated emotional and psychological landscape is precisely why they can evoke such powerful and often contradictory emotions. For you, if you recognize any of these challenges, this may be why you're experiencing apprehension, dread, or maybe discomfort regarding these significant days. Remember though, by looking at how these holidays may cause you discomfort, you are not betraying your family or the positive aspects of these days. You are gaining clarity on the effects on you so that you can heal and decide how you wish to proceed. If you recognize some or all of these factors as causing you dread or discomfort, let's look at what you can do from today onwards to help manage these better. The most important thing you can do is to manage your own state. You could be faced with the same challenges and dysfunction, but if you are centered in yourself, you are much more able to see the dynamics more clearly and to navigate the pressures. Being in a centered state can be like you're in a bubble, where the slings and arrows just simply don't penetrate. There are simple strategies for resetting your state. These D-Day first aids go straight to resetting our biological responses when we are under stress. There are a series of strategies. Different ones work to different degrees for various individuals. But today we'll focus on one that helps most people. The D-Day first aid I recommend as your first option is deep belly breathing. Deep belly breathing involves slowly breathing from the bottom of your lungs. If you're doing it correctly, your belly will move in and out as you breathe. It helps to put your hand on your belly to monitor yourself. There are all kinds of patterns that you can use for this breathing, but for now, just focus on deep, slow breaths. When you are doing deep breathing, what you're doing is training your body to come out of fight or flight mode and to regulate its state. In this more regulated state, you are better able to have clearer thoughts and to stay calm. Following on from deep breathing, you may want to recalibrate certain parts of your body. For example, consciously tune into your tummy, then to your chest, then to your solar plexus, and then your shoulders, and then carry out a general scan of your body. Just have a sense of what your body is feeling. It sounds like it would take a long time, but it really doesn't. And it can be extremely effective at quietening your system and making you aware of the cues that your body's giving you, thereby helping you adjust to your holiday pressures. To connect with me and gain a further foothold on your particular relational dynamics, you can book a Mending the Mother Wound Tarot-led coaching session with me via the link below. If this information was helpful for you, most likely it's going to be helpful for at least one other person in the same predicament. Help me to spread this awareness by sharing, liking, and subscribing. And let me know that you found the information helpful by typing the phrase peaceful belly in the comments below. And stay tuned for future videos where we unpack the matriarch wannabe and your healing journey. Or here's a video that can help you with identifying if you have a matriarch wannabe in your life. I recommend you watch that one next. Thank you for listening, and bye for now.